Hey guys, Steve with Top Guns. Today I'm here with John McPhee. John, as many of you already know, is also known as the Sheriff of Baghdad and have the nickname of Shrek. I'm not sure exactly how all that came about.
That's correct.
But this past weekend I had an opportunity to meet John and get some training from John. It was actually a great time. I learned a lot. But if you would tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to, well, one, what brought you up to Indiana, but two, how did you get into training?
All right, I'm a retired Army guy. I retired in 2011. I served all my time in special operations. I have multiple tours, Afghanistan and Iraq. When I retired, I started teaching classes. I taught a class in Illinois. It's by my grandparents' house. They're getting kind of old and I like to spend as much time as I can with them. So I started doing more classes in Illinois just to be around my grandparents. This past weekend, these guys asked me to come up and just teach a couple days of pistol marksmanship. And I came up and we just kind of worked through the fundamentals, did some drills and had a good time.
You mentioned special operations, and I know that's kind of a humble way to put it. You started off as Rangers.
Army Ranger, yep.
Army Ranger, and from there you moved into Green Beret?
Yep, I was a Green Beret, and then I went to the unit.
I'm sorry?
The unit.
The unit. Now, for those of us that don't know what the unit is,
it's the D word.
So, I guess with you guys, you don't like to say Delta Force. It's not really it's not the phrase
it's a culture thing.
Culture thing. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, and you refer to it as the unit.
Yep.
And you spent how much time there?
About 8 years.
Okay. And so. From there, you what kind of stuff did you do in the unit, if you don't mind?
I've done a ton of stuff, from Bosnia, Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, I went out alone, was written about in the book Kill Bin Laden. In Iraq, we were just out every night clearing the highest ranking, highest value targets off the blacklist.
So does that mean you were doing some sniping?
I've done sniping. I've been an assaulter. I've been a singleton. It all depends, mission dependent, on what they needed, what the mission was, how many guys were needed, and then whatever we need to get the job done.
Awesome. So obviously you spend your time, and there's times that you go out by yourself. There's times that you went out in 1 or 2 man units, 3 man units. Times you went out with the whole team of people. Once you're done with the unit, what do you do then? Is that when you're ready for retirement and you come back?
I actually made Sergeant Major and I worked on the staff and I controlled the budget.
Okay, fair enough.
It was time to retire.
It was time to retire. Okay. So once you got back to the States then, or not necessarily to the States, but once you retired, got back into civilian life, and that's when you started getting into some of your training and...
Yeah, I mean, as a Sergeant Major, I did the budget. Okay. I messed with government money and very complex system. The reason I did that is because they needed a guy that understands the gear that is being bought.
Right.
And I sat next to the guy who held the checkbook, which was my boss.
Sure.
So an important function, however, it wasn't on the range every day. I wasn't playing with guns anymore. I wasn't skydiving anymore, doing any of the cool commando stuff. So when I retired, what does a guy like me do when I retire? You could stay in the private arena, or you could teach some classes. And actually, when I retired, I worked for the King of Jordan for a little bit at his training compound. And then when I came back is when I set up my class just so I could see my grandparents.
You mentioned you trained or you worked with the King of Jordan. Yep. Now, since you've gotten back, you've actually trained a lot of high-profile police agencies and government agencies. And what's some of those agencies that you've worked with?
Man, I do Texas Ranger, SWAT. I've worked with them, Cobb County, Georgia. I get all kinds of federal agents, military guys, special forces, you name it. I've trained those guys.
Awesome. And now you're you've also just now started coming out with a line of products.
Yep. So traditionally for my classes, I would make gear that I would show guys how to use so they knew how to use it. Last fall, I started a website, my own little web store, and I started selling the stuff I always made for guys and gave out. Yeah, since then I've been coming out with products, and it's stuff that I've always used,
Sure.
or I always wanted to use, and no one actually made one.
Right. I know you actually showed us some stuff that was pretty handy and in the class, and you know, this is getting a little bit off subject, but one of the things you did in your class that I absolutely loved, you've got this thing that you do with a video that that showed me all my mistakes, and unfortunately it was more mistakes than I want to admit to, but man, it was eye-opening. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I use an app called Coach's Eye, and really what it is it's also Gunfighter U, and it's my online firearms coaching. And basically what it is I can videotape you shooting 2 rounds, or 2 rounds in a mag change, or whatever drill you want to shoot. And then from there, what I'll do is I'll break down your 8-second video and give it back to you in about 30 to 40 minutes of comments. And what we do is I slow the film down to 240 frames a second, and we go really frame by frame and see what we see. I can draw lines on the video, we can have comments, we can talk on the video, I can answer your questions on the video, and then once the video's done, when the class is over, I can give you that video and you'll have it forever. So the shooting always becomes first-hand knowledge, because you can go back and look at the video, and you know, you don't need me to get better on the video. You can see yourself.
I would love to say, hey, I'm going to post it for our viewers to see, but I thought I was an okay shot, and then I got with John, and man, it was really an eye-opening experience for me to slow that video down and to watch your comments and the lines drawing on there. And I'll tell you, if you guys ever have a chance to try it out, it is really, really cool to have this done. I know they can just email you those videos too.
Yeah, you can email the video to me. Generally, a drill is so short, you can email me the video, and then I'll send you a mudslide of data back on what actually happened while you were shooting.
So let me clarify to our viewers: this is not Steve giving a sales pitch. We're not making a penny off this guy. So this is me saying, hey, I tried a product out. That product happened to be a service and a video that he put together. I like the product, and when I'm passionate about something, I like to share it. So I will tell you, in this particular case, if you get a chance, send this guy a video, because what he has to offer is literally priceless. He has a lot of great knowledge. As far as some of your items that you've put out, we haven't had a chance to look at all of them yet. I can't wait to get my hands on them and try them out, and maybe next time you're in town or next time you're by, we can get together and maybe you could demo some of them and throw another video together.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, I think I can speak for all of our viewers. We appreciate your service, and certainly appreciate what you're now doing and out there and offering some training to those of us that otherwise might not have access to some of that training. But thanks a million, and I appreciate you coming in. Thanks,
anytime,
guys.
man.
Appreciate you watching the video. Take care.
Thanks.